Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Blue Honor Vlog. I'm Kay Williams, author of op-dec Operation Deceit, the Trailokia Trilogy, a dark fantasy paranormal series, about 3 books along right now. I am looking into writing the Agart Chronicles, which will stem off of there, following the adventures of the Agartian people. I also wrote Blue Honor, for which this vlog is named, and my blog, also my website, bluehonor.com. So, blue, some people have confused that for honoring police, the thin blue line, but that is not this page. Let me tell you. Angry Liberty. I am Blue Crew, as called on Blue Sky, and I will always be left. So I find it curious and interesting what it is about me or the topics that I speak about, my books, etc., that would signal anyone of the red persuasion to think that I might be one of them. It's unnerving, right? Maybe they want me to be. I don't know. But Blue actually follows the story of 4 families during the Civil War and how that war affects them. One of the families being formerly enslaved people. Abolitionist families, federal side. There will be no gray on this side. They were traitors to the nation, and they should be remembered thus. So that flag and that uniform is enemy combatants, as far as I'm concerned. And as the child of a retired National Guardsman, they hold it in contempt that anyone would honor those individuals. They were not great Americans. They were anti-America. And they were anti-America over being able to own other people. You can lie all you want that that's not what it was about. It was states' rights. And then I'll ask you, which right was that? Yeah. But anyway, speaking of history, let's talk about Thanksgiving traditions. That's a fun subject. As a historian, there's nothing that I love more than learning about history. And I do not take it personally when I find out that ancestors and people like me misbehaved. If you look at European history, that's what they did throughout Europe for so long, over and over, using the church as an excuse, using land as an excuse, using women as an excuse, you name it, it was an excuse. So I'm ecstatic when November comes around because it is Indigenous Peoples Month or Native American History Month. And I think that that's really important. We live in the United States, which were traditionally Native American lands, indigenous lands for those people. And how much do we know about them? This was their home. Europeans came in and pushed them out violently. I want to know more about them. Why this happened, why things didn't mesh, and a lot of that has to do with belief systems, religion. As an atheist, agnostic atheist, kind of like the founding fathers, a deist. Like, I think that there is a creator. There's no proof, but there could be, I guess. So atheist, I guess. It's probably atheist, deist, I don't know. Using a belief system to dislodge people from their land, minimizing them, othering them, basically saying that they weren't worthy to exist because they're not like us. I don't know if it was a deep desire to just inbreed, or if it was, I don't know. It's bizarre, because by no means were the indigenous population ignorant or incapable. They had a different belief system from us, as Europeans did way back before the church came in and things started rolling that way instead. I just will never get it. Why you would treat a people like, they want to glossy up the first Thanksgiving and stuff, and then ignore the fact that people were slaughtered subsequently thereafter for extending a hand. And that's just incredible to me, slapping the hand of the person who helped you survive, because you had no business being here and you didn't know how to live in this environment. You're not from here. You should have died out. And yet these people did what they could to help you. And, I even see this in the news cycle today with those types of people, and how they slap down empathy and treat it as a malignancy. And it's like, no, my guy, your hatred and volatility and refusal to accept anyone outside of whatever conformity is that you've decided in recent days is the way to go. That's the malignancy, because you want to erase everything and whitewash everything and make it all the same, because you're afraid, I'm guessing. Because you're afraid. You need everybody in neat little gender binaries, and you need everyone to dress a certain way, and you need everybody to believe in Jesus in a certain way. I mean, once they say they maintain control and they keep moving Project 2025 forward, they're going to whiteify everything, right? And then what? Then they're going to start fighting amongst themselves, just like in Europe back in the day. You're this family and we don't like you. Hatfields and McCoys, for instance. I'm like, do you folks like anyone? In touting constantly this whole pull yourself up by your bootstraps, which is not what that saying meant. It's not what it meant. You're ridiculous. And in that book club that you have doesn't even follow what the book instructs with the person that you're saying that you follow, who said, help your brother. Be there, be empathetic, do these things. You want to live Leviticus. And it's like, yeah, but you don't even do that. You mix cloths, you eat this, and you behave this way. So it's like you just use it as a battering ram, a hammer to control everybody else around you, and completely ignore the fact that not everyone is in your book club. You just paint everybody with that broad brush. And it's like, no, I'm that, so you're that, and you're going to abide by these rules. These really weird echoes of paternalism and domestic violence, really. It's like that dude who needs to be in control of the person that he's with, or to have control over people. And it's just like, has that ever worked in the past? It has never worked in the past. Everyone rebels against that. That's not freedom. That's my biggest thing. I'm like, this is not freedom. Eventually, you're not going to have very much to be thankful for. I'm like, you want to protect your Thanksgiving dinner or something. And it's like, have your flippin' Thanksgiving dinner. Nobody's telling you can't have turkey and dressing. Oh, but I'm ashamed when I sit down and I have my pie. That's a you problem, and I suggest therapy. my family still has a fall feast on that Thanksgiving holiday because, we're given that day off, and that's traditionally when we've had it, that's what we're used to doing. We have a harvest feast. God. So call it a Thanksgiving. That's all right. Be thankful for something. Why don't you go do a kindness for people? Go to a soup kitchen and volunteer instead of rolling out this spread and making yourself fatter than you already are. Because Jessica was right about your little pink arms and your big bellies. It's just incredible. I think November is a great month to start reading books outside of your normal range. Learning something a little bit more about people that you don't know. And growing so that you're less afraid of the outside world and less apt to try and force everyone into a conformity that makes you comfortable. And fuck them. I mean, I don't feel guilty when I sit down to Thanksgiving. I remember what happened. I know what actually happened. I know that we have a lot to be grateful for. I know whose land I'm on, Haudenosaunee, they called me Mohawk. I know that they have been removed from their rightful lands. Imagine somebody just coming in and saying, this is my house now. Taking everything that you have, pushing you out. It's not my fault I wasn't there. No, fake. It wasn't your fault and you weren't there then. But you live today now on the graves of that, on the pillars of that. That's all we're asking is the acknowledgement that you live upon the pillars of that. And they're rickety. So land back. That would be great. Speaking of, hopefully. At some point, even though this administration has rolled us back exponentially, we are going to hurt for so many years after this, even if we eject this mofo from office and all of his ilk and undo Project 2025 religiosity in our laws and our policies. I'm tired. I'm tired of being forced to adhere to a faith that I did not volunteer into. I didn't say I wanted to be part of this. I'm making everybody else abide by this. And the damage to our health, Medicaid, just all the health research and medical research, and what are we even doing? Oh my God, it's like the inmates are running the asylum, honestly. Captain Brainworm is running the show and getting rid of all of our vaccines, and none of the research that he cites or uses or sides with has ever been proven true. It has only been proven false. And I am up to here with anti-vax. You are making life dangerous for so many people like me with compromised immune system. Well, then just don't get around anybody that's sick. Mm-hmm. Oh, so I have to be a prisoner in my house because of my immune disorder. Instead of all you diseased SOBs out here actually getting a shot that doesn't harm you. But you're also removing my ability to choose vaccines. I want the vaccines. I have a science background, and I trust the vaccines, and I trust the researchers, and I trust my doctors. Making polio great again. It's incredible. No offense, but are we going to be trading smallpox blankets with one another? it's like incredible the lack of intelligence in these 50 states. Maddening. I had hoped that things would get better from when I was a teenager, not exponentially worse, especially for female presenting individuals. I'm telling you, that's another thing. Men don't dress up to go in a bathroom and sexually assault women. They just walk in and do it. If they're going to sexually assault you, they just do it. They don't play dress up. You just want to target trans people. Just like you want to target Native American people, Indigenous people around the world. You want to target them, oppress them, take what's theirs, eradicate them if you can, erase them from the planet because you want everything to conform to you. But then you're going to be afraid of your own and you're going to start putting laws in place for that. I'm like, you don't even give a shit about the kids that you insist on people not having abortions. You don't even provide for them. You don't want school lunches. You don't want vaccinations for them. You don't want medical coverage for them. You do not want their education covered. You do not give a shit about children. Because 90% of what you do proves otherwise. You don't want their mothers taken care of. You don't want their fathers taken care of. I don't know what it is that you do want. We need to thin the herd is what you're after? Who the F are you to choose who gets to stay and who gets to go? Eugenics is a Nazi thing. You know, we pulled that crap back in the day when we did the smallpox blankets, didn't we? We knew what we were doing. And we just keep rolling out the same thing over and over again. In this toxic behavior of conquering the planet and bending it to our will. It will do what it doesn't work that way. I don't know how many times you have to be taught. I mean, read some freaking literature, watch some films, they tell you. There are delicate processes in the environment, and you constantly disrupt them, and then they don't function right anymore, and stuff dies, and then it's not there to function in its niche anymore. And then everything is effed up, and you can't fix it. Would you go into a car and just start stripping out gears? Removing nuts and bolts and then being shocked that it doesn't work right anymore? It's weird. I put a rubber band instead of this belt in there and it just doesn't work the same anymore, but I'm no better than the environment. Do you hear yourselves? It is incredible, the willful arrogance of ignorance. Have your turkey. No one is stopping you. Okay? You will survive. Cracker Barrel is still there, even though the logo looks a little different. Even though Uncle Pedo isn't on there anymore. Just remember what they stole from us. I'll never forget that tweet. Remember what they took from you. All I see is a lot of people in desperate need of therapy. So maybe instead of turkey dinner, some assigned readings, therapy, and time spent feeding people in a soup kitchen would help. I highly recommend it. You know? Walk the talk. I will catch you back here next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great Thanksgiving. However you celebrate, watching football, stuffing yourself, whatever you need to do. Remember, growth is a choice. Deciding to remain stagnant is also a choice. See you next time.